morning. Wait, that I'm going to put my phone into not disturb mode. How are you guys? Hello. Today is very rainy. It's a rainy, a very gloomy day. So no sun today. No, a bit cloudy. This is why you probably see more light in the background than usual, because the sunset lamp, when there's like a bright sun coming in, it doesn't show the colors. But now that it's a bit dark, it's showing. It's showing. I don't know why it shows this color though, because it's the purple one. It shouldn't be this one. I don't know. I have no luck with with uh, with LED lights. I remember when I started, I had this how do you call those in English? It was like a long light, a long thread of lights, of LED lights. But then they used to work very well until they stopped working. Then the last one that I got last year was the Galaxy, the LED, yes, exactly, Dracula, LED strips. That's the word I was looking for, strips. And I got the Galaxy, thing. I was so excited because it looked very pretty. But from the moment I opened it, it had issues. The cable, the cord that it came with to charge it, to plug it in, it didn't work. So I had to use some that I did have. And then it would work, but it wouldn't stop saying Bluetooth mode. And it's so scary when it does, because I'm like checking and it's not connected to anything. So I don't know why it does this continuously. So I cannot use it. It's so unfair because it actually was expensive, but I don't know, because I think that it was from a very generic brand that had it when it became popular on TikTok. So I cannot even find the brand to tell you, oh, is this brand? No, it's a very generic. It's a very generic thing. But it's so unfortunate because those lights are so pretty. It really creates a whole mood. But at the same time, the one that is more faithful, sometimes it does it's not working properly, because I do have a sunset lamp. This is the one that shows this shape and color. That's the one that has been working so far. But the thing is that, that is this rounded thing. Well, it's sort of like I have to fix it. I have to attach something to it so it doesn't fold, because it falls. It's like it goes like this. It goes like this. It's so loose. It's so weak. It's so weak. So now it's standing right. It's working correctly. But sometimes when I want to fix it, it goes down. Yes, at least this one still works. But at the same time, I'm like, I love the moods of, the purple in the background and everything. But at the same time, I don't know. I think that it was like a sort of like sensation. It was like a hit um, during the pandemic. I think that now not so much, especially because um, I think that now at least the people that I do follow, and they do have their settings and everything. I would prefer for the background to not be that, that like um bright, or that full of colors and movements, and things are very distracting, like visually. So I don't know, maybe it's a me thing. It's a me. Maybe people that are younger, they are okay with it. But I'm like, I don't want to get like the background too with too much things. This is why I always like look for a wall that is plain. I did paint it yellow because I love yellow. Yellow and green are my favorite colors. I love yellow, like bright, not the bright yellow, the light one. It makes me happy. It makes me happy. Exactly, pastel yellow. It makes me so happy. And green, this color that is really hard to find because of my, I do enjoy yellow. I do love yellow, but not yellow, green. I do love wearing green, but um, because of my color of my skin, not all. Some people talk about warm undertone, like that you're a winter, that you're like. There's a lot of in color. I don't know if you guys. I'm sure you guys have it. The colorimetry test. And I believe I'm a dark winter, so I cannot use like warm colors. It looks bad on my skin because it's not that I am. It's like my skin is so weird, the color, because actually you cannot see it because the light is so bright. But um, I'm red in the face. Like I'm red. I swear that if you see some pictures, if you take pictures of me randomly, especially if there's sun, you're going to see that my face is red. It's not like an olive kind of skin, like the typical brunettes, have it. My skin turns red. Um, and it's not white. It's not white, nor is like tanned. I do get tanned if I would be, okay. If I would have a good relationship with the sun, I probably would get tanner. But for example, before I get tanned, I get very red. Like my skin gets very red. So sometimes when it comes to even makeup, I cannot find the right shade for me. It's so it's like one is too white, too bright for me, and the other one is too dark. So I'm like in the middle. I'm in the middle. And also I have this thing that I always get like I blush easily. Like I get all red easily. I don't know. All you know is that you're a cool tone. So it's really hard for me to I remember my mom she was a fan of the color red. She would love to wear red. But she was fairly like she was a white. Me and my dad are more like the ones that are more like brunette, that we are more like darker in skin, and she was like white. Um, um, which is great because actually like her father was a man of color, but her mom was a white woman, so it's all a mix. It's all a mix. But I remember my grandfather from her side. He was a man of color, and he was from Paraguay. I don't know if you guys heard of that country. It's one of the countries of Latin America. Um, it's not Uruguay, it's Paraguay. Um, and but I guess she got from her mom's side. Because she also has like her 6 brothers and sisters. They all wore like different shades. You had one that was like a brunette, and then you had one that was white, and she was like the youngest of them, and she was born with blonde hair. Um, but she would love to wear red colors, and she would buy me like a red sweater or something red. And it wouldn't look good on me. It wouldn't look good on me. It would look like I would be like melting with the same color. I would be like with me being red in the face and the bright red. Oh no, no, no much. But I think that now, that there's this thing with colorimetry, and there's a lot of tests. I think that is more interesting. Um, oh, actually, I want to show you, but I don't have it here. Yeah, I don't have it here. What did I do with it? Well, I wanted to show you, for example, I'm not like exposing the brand, but the one that I'm using is not this Nivea that is bright, that is red, but it's bright. It's like cherry. This is, I think that the idols wear this color usually, that they get lips. For me, it's like the one that is like darker, like strawberries. Strawberries. I have it somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. But for example, this kind of red I cannot wear. I cannot wear. It has to be darker. It has to be darker because it doesn't match my color, my face. It doesn't match. Like warm tones, it doesn't match. And I do love some colors. For example, red, it has to be this red. It cannot be this kind of red, for example. It cannot be this. It has to be this one. I unfortunately have a lip product addiction. Oh, you do? Which one do you use, Samara? I have several tinted lip color. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, when I used to like work more with a big public, with a lot of people around me, I will have also a lot of like a collection of also of lip products. Yes, yes. Um, my favorite, actually, the one that would work the most while I was working and would last longer, was the Maybelline Stay. Um, that one, the one that was matte, that one would last. It claimed that it lasted 24 hours. It did last 24 hours, but that was the one that would last the most. And I would have different colors, even violet. Like, I also love to change. I don't like, but now that that I'm more like working with children, and working with in a more like chill, and more like um I usually try not to get too much attention to my makeup. I try to keep my lips, of course, very with a lot of um, you know, moist, I would say, with heat rotation. I want to keep it, but um, yeah, I try not to not to get too much attention. But I used to do my whole makeup. Yes, no. But my skin suffers when I put a lot of makeup. I remember I had to use like a whole makeup every day, and it would damage my skin. It would damage. I usually am not someone that breaks out in the face, but I would break out because of the constant makeup, like all day with the full makeup. Then and my clothing also will get stained. During the pandemic, I also would get like the backside, the inside of the face mask. I would have it all tainted because of the amount of product. um I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I know that I had a lot of people, acquaintances of mine, that they were like, "Oh, can you get me this product? Because I know that it's trending. I know that it says that it's this." And I was like, if I get free samples, I will give it away. I will be like, "You want it? Here for you." Um, for me, I'm not. I do love, to learn about makeup and everything, but I think that over the years it had become like a sort of like, I remember when when because I'm a millennial and maybe this is the thing, we used to use one base, one single base that it was one shade for all colors. Um, Also the same with the eyeshadows. Um, so sometimes I'm like, I want products that are like, for multi-purposes. I am that, like, I don't want to be like, no, you first have to apply this and then you have to apply this. And if you don't apply this, you're not like, because it's not about like how difficult it is. It's more that it damages my skin. I feel like my skin cannot breathe. It doesn't matter how good the product is. I do get allergies. I do get like some breaks, some a bit of acne in my skin. I do get some eye irritation even. So I'm very sensitive. I'm very sensitive. I'm not the perfect target. Ah, I have Eden, tropical, romance, etc. I even have the hydration core. The elf hydration core. I really would recommend the brand Liberate Dasik and Tulip products. They are very affordable and have a large shade range. Long lasting and moisturizing and tints. If you would like to check out Olive Young, yes, or Yes Style, you can explore many new brands that are at price. I have to get eye mask, but I keep forgetting. Um, I have sensitive skin to the products as I use as well. I always test on my hand. Yes, I also tested on my hand. Yes, Roman and Flowers nose are very versatile in color and shade. BB cream or skin tints might work better for you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did notice that. I cannot even wear mascara. I don't know why. I'm so sensitive. I'm so sensitive. So I do love, makeup, and I do have some, but I cannot wear them. I think that it irritates my skin. Um, I don't know. I think that there must be, besides me having an immune system very weak, must be the main reason. But I also think that there must be like a kind of, um, ingredient in there that it creates this reaction. I don't know what. what is it, but yeah. And I have to listen to my skin. So how is now we're talking makeup? See, we are getting in control. We are getting in touch with the appearance. With taking care of yourself, um, with looking pretty. Now we are in Leo season. See, now we are in Leo season. So how is Leo season treating you guys? Mm-hmm. Yes. How is Leo season treating you? Listen, we got four different retrograde going on, and Leo season ain't helping other people. Yeah, I'm seeing like the Gemini people freaking out. I think video Gemini people freaking out the most, especially because they must be talking too much, or they must be sharing a lot of information that they shouldn't. So not all of them, but I did got some Gemini friends reach out and be like, "What is going on? What is going on energetically?" Like, it's the Virgos, yeah, uh-huh. Yes, definitely, Draculaura. I get depressed with my hair on after looks bad. I think it's because I'm a Virgo with Libra stellium. Leo season doesn't help. About my hair, I always have a thing. When I'm like doing a ponytail, I always get this. See? You will always see that, and I did brush it. I did try to accommodate. Now I made it work. But I did try to accommodate it, but I always get it. I always get it. I always get it floated here. And I couldn't find a pin to put here. But you guys be patient with me because I'm old. I cannot. This is what you got. This is what you got, guys. And I'm also very observant of those things. But I'm like, I already made the effort of pulling like my hair up, and now I'm tired. So I apologize for the disaster. Just pretend, guys, that you don't see it. But it always happens. Always. Every time if you see old videos of mine, you're going to see that every time I have like this cap ponytail, you're going to see that I have like bumps here. My hair is too frizzy, but I notice hair oil and moisture is to the hair helps a lot. Yeah. Yeah, when I had curly hair, oh, the amount of money that I would spend for nutrition for my hair. And there wasn't like now there's a lot of information about how to proper, wash it and brush the hair, the curly hair. Or the wavy hair. I know that you guys. I think that in English the right, at least for the kind of hair that I had, is more like wavy. For me, it's not wavy because it was all like these curls. It wasn't like waves. It was more like these things. Um, and I would have a lot of hair, a lot, just I think that now that you see it like this is because it's straight. But I think that I got so irritated because it's so much work, and the freeze wouldn't go away. It doesn't matter how much I spend on a product, I will have freeze all the time. Like in the part of here, I will have freeze all the time. I got tired. It's so unpractical. It's so unpractical. And also, I do love to wear like long hair. Like I don't. I think that short hair it looks good on me, but when it's straightened, but when it gets like all that this, it look like a lion. Um, I don't like it. My hair, especially because my mom, she never knew um, how to, comb my hair. She would comb my hair as if it was for like, a person with a straight hair. And she would always make like these high ponytails, where she would like stretch my hair like this. Um, and she would ruin like then when I would have it loose, I would have it I would have my hair down. I would be like the lion because it is when you have wavy hair or when you have curls, you're not supposed to brush them. And I remember that she used to brush them with this very thin comb that it was for thin hair, that it was for a hair for someone that has like straight hair. So she done everything wrong from the beginning. So I would always have like my hair like this. So she would tie it. She would tie it up. But I would suffer a lot. When she used to comb my hair, I would suffer a lot because it would create the knots in my hair and I would be screaming. And I not screaming, but I wouldn't be able to say anything because back then you couldn't complain. Um, but hey, Danya. But I guess when you are not educated in that aspect, or maybe when you don't have women in your family that have like curly hair, because my mom had curly hair herself, but when she had me, she already started using short hair. And also it was the 80s, so I think that in the 80s, the short hair was like a fashion trend or something like that. So for her, it was she was starting to get used to having short, like her hair short. Um, but when it comes to me, it would get very long and it would get, with a lot of volume, and she wouldn't know what to do with it. I remember like the scrunchies and the things that you have to tie the hair up. I would have to have the strong ones, not a very flexible, scrunchie, because it wouldn't sustain my hair. It would fall because of the weight of my hair. Um, so yeah, short hair makes me look like a boy. I think at some point I'm going to go for that hair. I think that maybe it's like a part of it's like when you're like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with so many like struggles, it's expensive. I'm having like also a huge like conflict with my gray hair. I do have a lot of gray hair, a lot, and I do have to dye it very often. Like it doesn't even last like 28 days. Before that, they start growing again. And I think that I don't like it. But I don't. Well, I was I was talking to a subscriber of mine that they shared, an idea or a perception that I think that it's more about what they see that happens, or they think that, okay, I feel like this is happening more and more often now that we're talking about counseling and K-pop and all those things. And she was mentioning, like, if I could do like a segment, what it would be like counseling for fandoms. I thought that it was so cute when she said it. She was like, can you do a section in your channel that is like counseling for fandoms? And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. I didn't even think about that. I was like, well, that's so cool. Because each fandom has their own issues, or maybe if you're an outsider of certain fandom, and you're like, I worry about them, like, can we pull cards for certain fandoms to see how they're doing, what do they need, emotionally, personally. um and now that we were talking also about Leo season, and the self, going back to ourselves, being maybe like, because definitely when we think about the sun, we can think about the idols, because the idols are the artists, are the ones that shine the most, we admire them so much. But they also are a great tool for you to connect with your own value, talent, with your own need to shine yourself, be inspired by them, not to be exactly like them, but to have your own version of being better. And we were mentioning about this, what is going on, what is something that usually you can see in fandoms. And I think that we got to the conclusion that there's like a very deep issue of maybe an anxiety among the fans, anxiety for the group, anxiety for, like, is of course everything is like projected, like, oh, I'm worried about my bias, oh, I'm worried about this group, oh, I'm worried about this project. And maybe it's more about the person being anxious themselves, and having an attachment. And then the other word that came up was self-esteem. How people, that maybe they do feel this way, how can they connect with self-esteem? Because some of them, some people in the fandom, some are young, they are inexperienced, and then you have maybe like people of my age, or close to my age, or maybe older than me, like I'm 40. That maybe there's people that they need to connect more, with their self-esteem, and not, and just create something outside being a fan of, and how important it is for you to differentiate yourself. It's like, it's not everything for the idol, or the, because they're also figuring it out as they go, what works for them and what it doesn't work for them. It's just that they have, a very rigid, and probably a very controlled environment that makes the decision for themselves. And when it comes to the fan only has themselves, or maybe, you have other fans that yeah, you have the love for a group, for example, in common, but that person, you think that, the more I talk to them, the more I feel like they are very negative, or that they criticize a lot, or that whatever I say, is not valid. So yeah, we share the same passion, but we are not compatible, because I think that they could be my friends, and I don't feel them like my friends, like my friends. Um, So it's very interesting. I'm going to create a post for this, for the counseling for fandoms. I think that this is so what they need to hear. Yes, as Bunny is been very difficult. I miss when it was about the music. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm not a bunny, but I do love those girls very much. I do love what they created, and I miss them. Like really, I miss seeing them. And in spite of what a lot of opinions that we can have about what if this is wrong, if this is right, I miss the artists. I think that um, I don't know if we will ever be back to that. Um, but yeah, they are missed, at least from my perspective and from all the people that I have been talking to. But of course, we understand that this is something that, they made a decision, they follow, certain people. We are not there with them, so we don't know. But the sad thing is that what we lost, we lost the opportunity of seeing them grow or seeing them, because they had accomplished so much, and I'm like, they had a great potential. I hope they're doing okay. Having a life outside the fandom is so important to keep perspective. Some fans feel too close to their faps and spend money they don't have on things they don't need. Exactly. Cases of albums to get a fan signed ticket, for example. Going into debt for this isn't okay at all. Yeah, also the concert, like the concert tickets. Like I'm like, I'm so supportive of people that can afford this, because I know that there's people that I'm like, I'm saving for, I just got back from this concert, and next week I'm going to go to this concert, or I got a friend that lent me money to go to this concert. They help me, and I'm like, I'm so happy, like genuinely happy for them. Maybe it's because in my country, in Argentina, and I think that if I have Argentinian followers, they know the feeling. No one comes here. I think that a few weeks ago, JB of GOT7, he did a show here in Argentina, and people were very happy. But we usually don't get like the big groups, and it's understandable because there's no money to pay them with, so it's okay. And but I'm like, if I had the chance, I would be very like picky about like, okay, what concert do I go to? Maybe because my economy is very different. Of course, I do own a credit card as well, so if I will have like a very impulsive buy, I would buy it as well. But I'm like, do you have to go to all the concerts? Like, honestly, there's some solo concerts, some solo that I wouldn't go. Like, I would go to the groups concerts. But I would try to be selective. It's like, why is like, but I understand, like, probably is like you get into this into this rush of like, I have to go, because if I don't go, I will miss this. Or probably this is like, the usual, mindset that we have, like, what if they don't come here again? The people freak out. What if we don't see them together again? What if something happens? So, I don't know. I always go to concerts because you get to enjoy that artist's music in a better way as a community. When artists have multiple days, I only go one day. Yes, because I understand others want to have a chance as well. and I have my own life. Exactly. It's like, I don't know. But I think that that's the the different experiences that we have, with I don't know, you're thinking that I don't know, I had to work that day. I didn't get the day off. They didn't give me the day. So I cannot make it on time. Or I have to, get like, I have to pay for an Uber, or I have to get someone to get me there because I cannot make it and I have to pay extra in order to be there. I think that sometimes when you are very tight in a schedule, there's some obligations that you cannot, get out of, and no one is like going to replace you, and you cannot, lose your job just to go to a concert. But yeah, it's like, if you go once, it's going to be okay. I remember in pandemic, remember when they had the concerts online, and there was like, it was like day one, day two. And I remember that the first day, when I watched certain concerts, of some groups, the first day always had like some kind of technical issue. And the second day was more like, it was okay. It was, but I would watch twice because we were in the pandemic. So, there was like, okay, today is day two. Okay. Also, as engine, I feel uncomfortable with the fandom parasocial relationship with the Hype. Hype is pushing parasocial obsessive content again. I wish we can go back to when it was about the music. Yes. Yeah, I had been getting requests about people that want, romance in 2025 for a Hypen, and I'm like, no, no, no. And Hypen is one of those groups that, even though they are legal of age, I do consider them that they are very young, and I don't want to go into that romance aspect because people are very obsessive. I notice, so I don't want to pull cards for them. Not until we get to I don't know if we will ever get to a place where it's not that it's not like that obsessive, especially about Nikki. I noticed that they do obsess a lot about Nikki. So I'm like, no, 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 no. Mm, yes. And also because in my readings, in this, I did chat about this with my friend, and I was like, it's so funny because usually when I read for a Hypen, the guys are not like the concept. They are not like the vampire, and I don't know what concept they have. I think it's vampire. Um, they are not like that. They are men of their age, and they are, not that like, oh, sexy, I'm so sexy, or I'm so emotional, or I'm like a hunter looking for love. And no, they are not like that at all. So sometimes reading for them and seeing the cards, I'm like, there's there's not much going on here. And also, I don't know what is it about. I did notice this, and I said it when I read for Korean artists, like in comparison to maybe Chinese or Japanese. I do get that the Korean men, or maybe sometimes some women, but more like men, because people ask a lot about certain groups, boy groups, and artists. I do feel a kind of like obsessive mindset for work results, stability. building an empire. I don't know, but I don't feel them very emotional. I don't see that. Yes, poor kid is growing up too fast. Mm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. People are obsessive about hyper for no reason. I think it's the whole vampire concept they have going on, and sometimes the stuff they have to say for money. Jungkook has stated he didn't like the recent concept because he doesn't feel very comfortable with it. It's so relatable. Yes. Yes. Yeah, he doesn't look like 19. No, he doesn't look like 19 at all. And I feel so bad because actually their music are my favorite. I do like their music. Out of all the high groups that are not BTS, of course. Um, and Hypen lately, like the last years, have been like my favorite. Like I always have them on my playlist, always. Not this last one I did not, but um, mm. I'm going to put some cards for the fandoms in general, but especially for those that are like anxious and have like, maybe low self-esteem or there's something in there going on. Let's see what the tarot has to say about this. Just so we can give a shape to this, live stream, just start pulling cards or reflect on things. Okay, let's see. The fandoms. And I'm going to push one card that represents the idols. How do they view it? Mm. Yeah, see, like I told you, about, some, especially some Korean artists, I get pentacles. And in this is for idols, is the page of pentacles. This is, a part of a practice for them. They are working on this. This is what they have to work with. They have to work with the idols being, not the idols, the fans being obsessed, the fans being anxious about them, the fans being a bit paranoid about them. It's like they have to make it work. It is what they have to work with. It's like, okay, I've been told we have to make money out of this. So yeah, we have to polish it the best we can. But I think that as the page of pentacles, there's also this very immature, amateur energy of like, sometimes we don't even know what, like they don't consider themselves masters in this aspect of dealing with fans. I think that maybe some situations do surpass them, that like they are too much, and sometimes they're like, I don't know how to deal with this, but I have to, I have to. I cannot even take it personal. I have to take it like a professional, or I have to see the practical side of this. But I'm learning to deal with this as I go, and every day they surprise me more. So yeah, for them it's like maybe trying to be very rational about it, because if they will get in their feelings, they wouldn't be doing the job, properly. Because they cannot tell the fans to stop being like this, because it's not productive. But yeah, for the fans, that or some parts of the fans or fandoms that are anxious or have, problems with a bit of self-esteem, we have these very emotional cards here. For the fans, we start with the Knight of Cups. We have the Judgment, and we have the Queen of Cups. And if you see, I want to show you like the picture, how it shows. Is it's a very manipulative energy. I think it's like I give you love or I give you everything that I have, but this gives me the power to judge you, literally, with a judgment. And then, with the Queen of Cups, there's also this counterpart that is like the one that wants to be like mature and very knowledgeable and makes excuses, for maybe the younger part of the fandom that are more like, impulsive, or that they are too exaggerated and they just go and do crazy things for love. So, and then you have probably the older people in the fandom being like a mother, like, no, but they do it because they love you. They actually, it feels like it's emotional manipulation, and I think that with the Judgment in the middle, um, it's like it feels very suffocating because it's like, I'm giving you my love. You cannot turn down my love because you need it. So this gives me like the excuse to push, to keep smothering you. It feels very like I say I love you, but somehow like I'm smothering you. I'm like, I'm not letting you breathe, and I'm sort of guilt tripping you into, I gave you so much love, and my love for you is so genuine, and this is why I'm judging you. Or this is why I'm telling you that you shouldn't be like this. And this is why I'm telling you that it's all emotional. It's all emotional. And it's like a very like a motherly poster that they have. Even the youngest, maybe, the youngest fans, there's a very motherly, overbearing kind of mother, like, I know better. I will tell you what you did wrong, and you have to fix it, and you have to listen to me, and you have to trust us because we want the best for you. So is is tough, is tough. But I think that when it comes to anxiety and self-esteem, I think that probably for some fandoms or some people in the fandom is like, it's very hard to come to the place of awareness when you are so installed in the poster of I do this because I love them, or I am like this in love. I love intensely. I will always love them. Like this, like, oh, I carry so much love and I give it, and I'm giving it to you because I'm so loving. I'm a loving person, and I'm giving it to you because I'm so nice. And I think that this is why it doesn't give room to awareness. And also it feels like a mother that meddles in too much into their children's business. It's like you guys are smothering these people. It's like you are like coming from different sides. Even the fandoms that they say that they are in arguing with each other, or there's like competition, or there's arguments, or there's like, I don't like this fandom, or they are our nemesis, we don't like them. No, you guys are similar. You guys, like, your objective at the end is very similar to what the other one does. So I think that in here, there's something about them calling each other immature. Like, you are the immature one. No, you are the immature one. No, you don't know. I know. I have been here longer than you. There's something about hierarchy also, because we have the Knight of Cups and we have the Queen of Cups. So there's something of like, I love them more. I appreciate them more. I do more. I have been here longer than you. I'm older than you, also about age. But in the middle, we have the judgment. So it's like you are giving this person, these people, your attention and your love and your money and everything. But in the end, it's all for judging them. It's like you want to have the permission to judge them, or maybe to judge each other, or to judge, different fans. It's like, you are not a good fan. I am a good fan. I know you are not a good fan. So judgment all the way, disguised as love and caring. Judgment all the way. So I think that if we think about anxiety and self-esteem, there's not awareness. There's not I don't see the issues here, because they are not in that place of accepting that they could have personal issues, or that they could have some anxiety about their personal lives, or that they could have some personal things to resolve that is sort of triggers, that, oh, okay, well, maybe when I'm in this fandom or when I'm with these fans, I get triggered easily, or when they talk about my favorite, I get so triggered easily. But then, it's like it's always one against the other. If you see it like here, it's very obvious. You have a fan and another fan, a fandom and another fandom, and their styles is very different. It's very same. It's the same. It's, playing with emotionality, with memories of like, no, because I'm so emotional because they saved my life. No, because I recover emotionally from so many battles because of them. But you are judging. In the middle, there's a very judgmental person. And also, it could be that maybe there's certain people in the fandom that in their everyday lives, they do feel judged. In their personal lives, they do feel judged. They don't have the possibility, the accepting, unconditional love, or they don't have the support that they need. So this is why they go with their cups to this very precious group object, and they overconsume it. Of course, it's like no one is asking you to love them this card. You are doing it for yourself. You are like, here's my cup here. But in the middle, sooner or later, the judgment appears. Sooner or later, they start criticizing something. It's like everything starts very loving. Like, oh, yes, like being part of this is so cool. I love it. Yeah, you and I, we get along so well because our bias is like this. But then there's someone that raises their hand and they're like, yeah, but actually, that that last comeback, it was so it's like you're not even enjoying, you're not even liking the person or the group that you say you like, because you guys get judgmental with each other and with the groups. And when it comes to, yeah, like I said, when it comes to how the groups or the artists see this, they see this as, I have to work with this. I know people are going to get like this. Probably they had been told, or they had been taking classes or been educated about fans' behavior. So they are like, they told me that I have to do this, or they told me that, there's going to be some intense instances where the fan is going to be very intense, and then they're going to come down, and then they're going to disappear, and then they're going to be, even when fans that, for example, like sasangs, maybe there's some artists or idols that are like, I have been instructed that, they have this behavior. I have been told that they're going to change, or they're going to get better, or they're going to get worse, but I have to go through with this and I cannot move because, I have to keep being productive. I cannot be scared of them. I cannot show any emotions. I cannot make any face or a statement that it seems like I'm rejecting them, because no, this is money. So, but I think that being as the Page of Pentacles for them is like, is a new experience every day. I think that for them, they are not like entirely like, prepared for what the fans do or how they react. It feels like they go with the flow, but every day they surprise themselves more. Mm. Yes, that's so ironic. An emotional idol with emotional fans. Yes, yes, exactly. Your own life should pull you away from your fangirl side, not your fangirl side pulling you away from your own life. Exactly. So let's see if in the future things are going to come down or if they are going to change, some, the fandoms that are very anxious. I mean, it's just that when they're going to come down. When something serious happens, and they see the reality of an idol or of a group, like a scandal, not like a scandal, but more like an undeniable truth, something about maybe certain artists or idols being very blunt to their fans, to their faces. I mean, like, this is how I live my life. This is how I do my life. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have children. And I'm going to do this that is very opposite of what you think that you know of me. It has to do with, maybe, um, some idols being very bold and aggressive, but not aggressive with, getting literally aggressive. More like, aggressive statements of like, there's no convincing. I don't feel guilty. This is what is going on. This is what, if you see this of me, yeah, this is me. I did it. I think that it has to do with, it has to be a very dominant action from the artist. Very dominant. Like, no, like, oh, I think that that was like a misunderstanding. I think that they didn't mean that. No, it has to be a very, specific and contundent action. Like he did this and he did it on camera and you saw it, or he said this, and now people being like, no, because I think that if we review the translations, no, it was bad translated. And it actually means something else. No, 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 no. No, it has to be someone that is very straightforward, that is a bit harsh, that is a bit masculine also. I think that maybe the idols that can get away from fans get that obsessive about them or that anxious about them and their lives and what they do is the ones that act more dominant, the ones that are more masculine, more bossy. Like, yeah, this is me. You're not getting me out of the group. I don't care what you want, what you expect of me. This is what I am. I own it. Now, probably the idols that apologize and are like, no, but no, I apologize, and the statement, and that's the part of the business trying to fix something that maybe was very obvious. But yeah, we have Ace of Wands, we have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Ten of Swords. So, but yeah, but also, I mean, I think that it's really hard for them to run out of the Luluness, because with the Seven of Swords, it's like, you have been shown an evidence of something that happened, or your favorite idol artist said something very straightforward, like very in your face, or they did something that is like you saw it, it's very in your face, they did it, they show it to you, they wanted you to see it. But then, the Lulus going online and be like, no, this is fake. No, did you hear? No, 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 that was fake. They denied it already. And it's like, who? Who denied it already? No, no, in the internet someone said, that, but the action is this. They have like a problem with masculinity and with sexuality. That is like maybe they cannot conceive that an idol has sex, that they have sexual partners, that they have not even girlfriends, or it's just partners. They have an issue with this. They have an issue with the phallic scenes is part. But yeah, the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords is like, I will go and cry in a corner because this cannot be true. This cannot be true. My bias would never do this. And it's like, even if they're falling into pieces, they're like, no, it cannot be, it cannot be. So it's evasion. Some people need to evade themselves, especially the ones that struggle the most. You know, when I say this, I'm not talking about all the fans, because there's fans that actually are very self-aware, and they have, you know, their lives, they have their dreams, they have their aspiration, and they know to differentiate, you know, reality and the fun and the fantasy of, you know, you know, what is being presented as a product or as, you know, entertainment. But yeah, for people, it's like you cannot convince them, even if the harsh evidence, you know, is in there. And from from the you know, the artist point of view, you know, about you know, about them seeing if these people have a potential of, you know, getting better and understanding this and maybe being less anxious about them. We have the Four of Swords. So for them, it's like, they're like, I told you so. I told you so. I need a break. I need to disconnect. Like, I told you that they are not going to understand you. It's like you cannot do anything. You know, and here the phrase, it says, it has to give you tranquility, not an anxiety attack. So this is about, you know, proper relationships. You know, when you really care for someone, or when you are starting to get to know someone, and when you are developing feelings for someone, they say that the more mature you get with time, you start like acknowledging and understanding and appreciating that, you know, true connections or true bonds, they have to be chill. You know, that if the other person brings you anxiety, or if they make you feel anxious, if you feel like something is not right, if you feel like you have to all the time be moving around and thinking strategies to keeping them around you, then they are not the person for you. And I think that for the idol, the artist, when they see fans freak out so bad, you know, about every little thing that they do or don't do, they also come into this realization of like, you know, I shouldn't be so anxious about what these people do. I have to also disconnect of, and maybe for them it's like, you know, I know that the real fans are the ones that bring me peace, are the ones that I show them who I am, or I show them what I'm about, or if I make a mistake, you know, and there's a part of me that is like, they will accept me, they will bring me peace. You know, my true fans will bring me peace because they love me, or they care for me, or they admire me. The true fan is a fan that is chill, that brings tranquility, that brings awareness. That, of course, that when they are happy, they are, you know, flowing with happiness. But there's something about, you know, the idol also seeing it. You know, the good ones, the good fan or the loyal fan is the one that brings me tranquility. Now, the fan that is all over the place, that wants to get my attention, that they want to get into my personal space, that they want to harass me and get into my house and, you know, create crazy posts when they don't get what they want, you know, those I have to stay away from. Those are not my responsibility. I cannot keep stressing for those people because those people have no control. They cannot be controlled. So for an idol, it's like, you know, I only have to stay with the good memories that I have the nice fans, the fans that worry for me, the fans that don't freak out every time something like a rumor, something happens, the fans that are chill. Because I think that maybe there's a moment in an artist's career where they feel very responsible and they're like, no, I have to do something, I have to say something. And I think that probably the ones that have been dealing with this the most, and that they have also probably mental health issues because of worrying so much or panicking so much. I mean, like, oh no, I think that my fans are angry with me. If they are like this, if they get anxious themselves, they cannot work, they cannot function. They will start resenting the craft, the business, and the fans. So they have to somehow disconnect. They have to be able to do this. Hey, Yashoda. Hey, Autin. One girl said that she believes idols don't poop for so long. Oh my God. With what they eat? Have you seen what they eat? Sometimes I like my stomach starts like, sometimes I do watch these shows where they are cooking and eating, certain vegetables, and especially the ramen, and my stomach starts like acting weird, like that soup, like, oh my, oh. Someone, a Korean, I think, explained that idols are thought as similar to Disney stars. Oh yes, uh-huh. That puts in is perspective for me. Yeah, that puts it in perspective for me. You see how they usually don't even have facial hair while promoting. Yes, and you get used to that usually because when I wouldn't know about K-pop idols. I would follow, I do have my favorite, singers and actors and all of those. And they do have, this very facial hair, and they do have like this, they have their styles, or, you know, but then I also got used to, or I started normalizing, the the fact that, that there's certain idols that also they look so flawless. Like I'm so hairy next to them. I have so much hair. I have more hair than them. But yeah, there's like this, also this very white skin, soft looking. Even, the eyebrows is not like the color, it's not like the one we have. It's more like bright. It's not like blonde, but it's bright. And they have all this pink, color that it's like, a very standard of them. No, we're just talking. We're just talking here, Yashoda. Is is counseling for fandoms is called. Counseling for fandoms. I thought that Korean men don't grow hair on their face. Yeah, probably. I think that I saw people said that it's probably because they when they grow it looks weird, like very uneven. Even the guys wax laser their legs. Yeah, this is why, when they reach a certain age, especially some artists, when they are about my age, for example, like 40, you look at their legs, and they and also the way they sit, they look like an ant. You're like, they look very feminine, like, because usually men are very heavy, like in the legs, or maybe it's because it's too white, so there's something and glowy, so it's like there's, um there's a lot of, it's too polished, it's like too polished. Even when they wear like the most um normal clothes, it looks weird. Like it looks like they are too perfect. Like it doesn't make any sense. Mm. But the wider you are, isn't there that greenish roots that is not visible? Yeah, I know my bias showed his armpit hair, but then he also, I think that he showed it once or twice, and then the next time I saw that he didn't have hair anymore in there. So I don't know if maybe they were like, you have to eliminate it. Mm. Yeah, I think that there's this, you have these moments, but then they change. Then when they come back, it's gone. So I wonder if they're like, this is not good for you, for your image. Yes, they aren't as pale. Yeah, they aren't as pale. Yes. I remember a few years ago when I went to an event for a skincare. It was like they were testing this new version of a sunscreen, and you had to play, certain games, and there were prizes if you won the game. And one of those games, it was, these hats that the Hashimas that usually they wear when they go on a walk. That is like, it's like a cap, and it has like this large front, and then you have like a kind of fabric that follows in here, like covers your whole head. And I remember my friend got it. I didn't get it, but I didn't get it, but she got that prize. And we were like playing with that. We were like trying it on, because for us it's so different. For us it's like, wow, this is very um uh-huh um and I'm thinking about me with, I told you guys, because I had been diagnosed with lupus when I was, barely, I was 14 years old. So I remember when it was summertime, there was this doctor, and he said it like a joke. He was like, "Oh, you cannot go in the sun," and I was like, why can I go in the sun? No, if you go, you will have to carry, like, I don't know, an umbrella, to, an umbrella to cover my hair. I don't know, my head or my body. And now, that we see that Korean has these advanced, techniques. They have even these things that they wear on the sleeves, to not get burned. And I'm like, for me, that I suffered of these things, it would have been useful to have those hats. Even people, I think that people would have made fun of me, of course. Like, what is wrong with her? In the beginning of the early in 1999, I think that those were not a thing. But also, going out with an umbrella on summer, it also wasn't a thing. So I don't know. I just felt so embarrassed when he said it. I was like, "There's no way I'm getting out of my house then." Because he, like, and also I had the worst doctors ever, because I don't know, he should have been more gracious about it. Like, he was so. Yeah, but I was an awkward teenager, and I was like, and I had this weird illness that no one knew about. So I was so stressed about those things, so stressed. Yes, I'm East Asian. Everyone in my family is so sun safe. I wonder if Mnet will make a Girls Planet 2 with the controversy going on. I wonder if Mnet, what controversy? Okay, I'm going to podcast this. I wonder if Mnet will make a Girls Planet 2. Wait. Will Mnet make a Girls Planet 2? Mnet. Yeah, definitely there's like, if there's a controversy, they are bearing the consequences, I would say. Or if he's feeling very like they are very worried, or they have a lot of things on their plate and they are very overwhelmed with what is going on at the moment. I don't know what is going on. We have 10 of Wands, we have 4 of Swords, and we have the Temperance. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles. That this card, remember that I told you that the message, the phrase of this card, see how this coin has like cracks? Is because the person is holding on too tight to it. So the message, the phrase, the reflection of this card is like, sometimes we hold on too tight to something that we end up damaging it, or we end up breaking it because of how tight we are holding on to it. So I don't know. I think that first they have to, could it be that they will have a break? They will go on hiatus somehow if they're having like a show at the moment, or if they're working on something, they're active at the moment with this Planets show. I think that they are handling a lot of things, and it's getting tough. It's getting tough. It's getting out of control. I think that they are pushing it because these are very stubborn people. Maybe they're used to this. They're used to controversies. There's something about them thinking like, okay, if there's no drama, it means that the group, or the program is not doing well, or the show is not doing well. So they are a bit extremist. They tend to carry more than what they can handle. They tend to overwork people, or they tend to get people into these very awkward situations, very on the limit situations. They overwork also a lot of their staff, a lot of the people in the show. So it feels like they are like this. Their style are like this. We have the 4 of Swords, so I could see like them. If there's something about making a Girls Planet 2. I think that maybe they are going to finish what they're doing now, and they will take a break. They will take a break because they, with the Temperance, I think that they have to listen to the people. There's something about them being so stubborn, and being so inflexible, and being so extremist in the production of this, that they are harming everything. This is why we have the 4 of Pentacles. They are harming the potential, they're harming the future of this program or this show, that it has the potential of being something good, but they push it so much, or they squeeze it so much. I don't know if they are also very, they're very cheap. So they try to like, oh, with this that we get, yeah, we will have like another show of this. But it's like, no, invest properly, like stop squishing every coin, because then you break it, then you break the people, you break the abundance that you could have. It seems like they don't want to lose something. I don't know if the group, if the the show has, or has been successful, or they had gained, a lot of, popularity, or they have been successful in the past. And it seems like they have this system where they are like, it has always worked. We always done it like this. It's going to work in the future. But I think that, with this attitude, I mean, after a break, they could make Girls Planet 2. Because with the temperance, it's like, if we stop and we make a balance of what happened before, maybe we can be better. But also with the Four of Pentacles, it's like they are very stubborn. They want to use the same recipe that they have. Is giving me Teddy. He's giving me Teddy with his Blackpink songs. Like very stubborn, like, oh, this had worked in the past and it's going to work again. So I don't know. I think that they will spoil it if they do. And probably the audience is also calling them out. Like, this that you're doing is not entertaining us anymore. It's not appealing anymore. You are forcing things, you're forcing things on the artist. We do see it. We do see that you force a certain dynamic, or that everything seems very forced. Like people overworked, or there's some errors, or there's some scandals, or there's a lot of things like being squished, to make it into the program. And I think that it's not, they need to have new ideas. I think that they ran out of ideas a long time ago, and but they want the money. They want the money with zero investment. They want like the new participants and everything, but they don't want to pay them more. So yeah. Yeah, and actually, I don't see someone standing out. So I'm like, whoever is winning this, are they going to be popular? Because I don't. There's something about them wanting 2 for 1. Like I will give you 2, but I will pay them for 1. Like, very cheap. They want to save efforts. I don't know. It feels very. Chinese and Korean group, however, is merged to one group who will be solely a K-pop group. The justice in reverse. So definitely their system is not justice at all. At all. They are going to be very unjust to some people. And one is going to call them out. There's going to be someone, maybe a member, a contestant, is going to call them out on their injustice. But then probably this person is going to debut, because I have the sun. So at the end, there could be like a happy ending, happy promotion, like, oh yes, we made it. But I think that there's someone that is like, you are being, could it be discriminative? Yeah, but they're going to shine anyway, in spite of the, the unfairness. Yeah, they are very unfair. They are very unfair. They're very, very, yeah. Probably if the other ones are Chinese, yeah. Mm. Do you have other questions, guys? I'm going to stay for another 20 minutes and then I'm going to go. But if you guys have questions, then on Sunday, I'm going to, read for Leo idols, Leo artists. And if you guys have another questions about K-pop, I'm going to do them. Yeah, that's why I don't watch those shows. The other day, I was watching a reading that Aphrodite did for these members, these contestants of, was it Love Island or Temptation Island? Well, that Love Island show, dating show. And he mentioned something that is very interesting because he's like, I don't read for those reality shows while they are happening because I know that they are, they're not true. They are, they're scripted. They're scripted. I only read for them once they are out, when there's like a reunion, when there's like, the final couples, the final, because yes, I that's what I noticed when I would read for, possessed love, when I would read for, we read for dating Japanese show at the moment. Then I think I read also for Singles Inferno, some contestants, and yeah, I think that it was a waste. Like, it's funny because while it's going, we want to know more about certain contestants, but the reality is that, they're not looking for love in there. They're just promoting themselves. Okay. There are two budgets, one for Koreans and Japanese, and the other for Chinese contestants. There's this guy going viral for just eating on these Korean dating shows. Have you seen the whole mess of the Coldplay concert? Everyone has been talking about it. It's like everywhere. But oh my God, the shame. But I think that people are so, I don't know. I've seen managers, dating each other while they are at work, having this whole like love story, and both of them were married. So yeah. Then I had witnessed, the actual wife of a manager, coming to get the girl and the man because she was calling him, and he was like, "No, I'm not at work, no, I'm working," he said. And so she came into the store. We were all working, in there. She came into the store and she started screaming, like demanding, like, "Where is my husband?" He said he was going. Well, the guy, the manager, was with this other, with this other person, with this other employee. They were at the hotel. He wasn't working. And the other bosses were somehow covering for him. So, she made a huge scandal. Like, I remember the clients, they were all watching, like, and there was a moment where he entered, like the manager, he finally came because she kept calling him. And maybe, there were some other colleagues of his that they were like, "You have to get here because your wife is here and she's making a mess and she's making it uncomfortable, making it uncomfortable for us that we are here with the customers." And she came here and she started like hitting him, like, like, being like, "Oh, it was so crazy. It was so crazy." But he didn't get fired. After that whole scandal of beaten by your wife on the department store. And I think some people were recording back then. And but he didn't actually lose his job. He didn't lose his job. He got a promotion somewhere else. Oh my. So see, men never lose. Now the girls did disappear. The girl, we don't know where she went, but she was no longer. So I was wondering if what is Geffen? Is there a company? If the Geffen under hype, because I don't know, Samara, what is Geffen? Is maybe it's like what is Geffen? It sounds like a goblin, like an. Is there a name? Is there the last name of a real person? Yeah. Is treating Manon poorly to bait the fans into bringing more attention to the group. Well, whoever this person is under hype. Is treating Manon. Wait, I'm writing down there. Manon poorly. To bait the fans into bringing more attention to the group. That's the name? Geffen? Oh my. That sounds like a goblin name. I was like, is there like a leprechaun? Oh my God. I'm so I was like, who is this person? Oh my. The name already sounds so suspicious. They're goblins technically. Yeah, I was like, this sounds a bit like, this is a funny name. But I did read I think that it was for Katseye, but I did read and when I got to Manon, I remember that she was like taking notes. This woman, I think that she has everything documented, and I think that is great that she does. I think that she has everything documented, and she's been so strategic about it. So I love it. I love it because she's so smart. She's like, yes, this that you're saying. Yes. She's not an emotional cancer. So that I love because she's very well educated, or she's very intelligent. She knows how to deal with these people. So she's like, yeah, this that you're saying. Yes. It's not very correct, but I'm listening. Okay. Is this Geffen? Are they treating Manon poorly to bait the fans into bringing more attention to the group? That they are double-faced, they are. That they are double-faced, they are. They love to confuse the audience. I don't know if what they're posting or they are showing things that it creates this duality of like, yeah, it is, but it's not. um um and I think that is the vagueness or the duality or the non-straight answer, or maybe if the fans are asking for something, they not giving it or keeping a suspense or being trying to be in the middle, is creating a lot of damage actually to the group or to the group's image. I think that it's going to get very heavy in the future. It's not going to be beneficial for the group, for the group's image, because I think that there's something that is starting or has been starting a while after this happened, after this double message. I don't know if it's like about like, oh, we love Manon, but yeah, no, now we don't have her. But now we bring her back and now we don't have her. So there's this duality that they thought that, well, these are things that happen, it could have been potentially like an idea, but it's not looking good. They will have to defend themselves and they don't know how. I don't know if the fans had started a sort of like conspiracy, or they have started like, a whole, you know, um, narrative about like what they think that is going on. That this narrative is getting bigger than what actually is going on. And they will not be able to stop it. Maybe some fans are already hurt. Some fans are taking this personally, like, oh, she's my bias and you're doing this to her, or the others are doing this to her. And even if they come back and they will try to deny, or they will try to be like, no, guys, no, it's not what you think. The thought, the perception is already installed. The perception is already installed because I think that when it comes to Manon, there's history of these. Like people were like, told you so. People were like, I already had my suspicion. I already knew that there was a difference, a difference in the way they treated her. So now this is happening. I think that it suits my perception. So I'm going to keep feeding it. And now they cannot stop. They thought it would be entertaining, to play with like, yeah, now you see her, now you don't see her. Now we show that we love her and that we show you because she's so beautiful. And there you have her. We put her in the front and you see her and you're like, ah, but then we take her away. Or we make her act a bit like, or the way, not make her act, because it's not, I don't see Manon here. So it's not about what she does. It's more about, I don't know if it's the way they edit certain contents that it looks like, well, is she here or not? Like they made very poorly decisions and they will not be able to recover from this. It doesn't matter how they want to defend this. The audience is already disappointed. Because probably there's a lot of fans of, I think that this is the thing. How we start with the lovers and the three of wands. I think that the fans initially about the group, they were so happy. Maybe the fans of Manon also being so happy and so entertained and so like, yes, we love this. The music is great. She is great. We love to see her with the girls and I'm having fun with the music. But then, something happens that we are like a bit on the defensive. Like, what is going on? What are you doing? And also, you're not giving us the answer. You pretend like nothing is going on, but the more time you take, it's worse. And then, an experience that is supposed to be, fun and seeing the girls and supporting the girls and enjoying their music, it turns into, I knew they were going to disappoint me. I knew they were going to mess up because they always do. So it's more about their inability to sustain a happy, authentic content, I would say, not even dynamic among the girls. It's more like what you're showing is so shady. Why do you do this with the lovers? Why do you do this? Also, there's duality in the girls' speech. I think that also like it's like why did you do that with the tactic? Like to attract more people? It's like, yes, she's this, but she's not this. Because they don't have ideas. This is the thing. They don't have ideas. They only know that they don't know how to manage a girl group. This is the reality. If it's not about, cat fights or, then having rivalry among each other, and then like, oh no, I think that there's something wrong with them, like usually women have, this. No, but it's because you are not really good at being equal. You install a sort of doubt in people's minds. And also with the lovers, it's giving me seduction. Like, could it be that people are already shipping some members? Three of Swords. And he says that fear of change don't make you romanticize what hurts you. So they don't know how to change. They will not know how to turn this around. They will not know how to turn this around. The audience already is like, see, I told you so. I knew they were going to mess up. And they are very defensive about Manon in particular. So I don't know the history because I don't follow. I only know the group as they are formed now. I don't know how it was created. I know there was a show, but I didn't watch it. So maybe people are like, she went through a lot. Why are you doing this? I think that they want it to be cute, and it's not. Maybe they started being like, oh, it's her against this member, but then they make up because, they love each other. Or, like, could it be that they're shipping already? Or there's like some members that they act a certain way, or they have a skinship and people are already like, oh, yeah, if they had an argument, they made up because, there's an attraction. They're attracted to each other. But the audience is like, I knew it. The audience is like, I knew they would spoil it. I knew it. I cannot have pretty things. I cannot enjoy things that you have to bring here this. Yeah, and about Manon in the group, we have the Two of Swords, we have the Four of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Wands. So I think that is does Manon have like a Libra placement somewhere? Because I think that for her it's like we have two cards of two. So for Manon it's like, like I said the other day when I read for her, she notices certain things, or there's some information that is being given to them, that she's like listening to this and she's like, be careful with what you say. She's like, this is not correct. You shouldn't say that. Not in front of me. But at the same time, she's like, I'm not going to take it personal. I better, think the best. Our career is just starting. I better do not, make a whole, deal out of this. But with the Two of Swords, I think that she's in this position where she's seeing things, but she's not sure about what it is. It's like a sensation, what it's like. There's moments where I feel like they like me, and then there's moments where I feel like, yeah, I'm not sure. So this is why I think that for her it's better to stay in the middle, because she's like, I don't know if I'm imagining things, or I don't know if I'm being too sensitive, or if I'm, observing too much, or, detecting a lot of things that are not there, because evidence there is not of mistreatment or differences, no. But at the same time, among this duality, like I said, we have the lovers, now we have the two. So it's like these very unstable moments. There's a lot of uncertainty, but in the middle, we have the Four of Pentacles. So you're not going to move Manon of anywhere because she's going to remain. This is her dream. So it's not about like who likes her, who wants to benefit of her, who is her friend and who isn't. For her, it's like, this is work. This is my life. This is my profession. This is my space, my place in the group. I work really hard. You are not getting me out of here. Even if I have suspicions and I'm a bit insecure or I'm a bit not sure if I'm liked. Like I'm getting mixed signals. She's getting mixed reactions. So she's like, if I pay attention, I know there's probably someone judging me. Sorry, guys, I got disconnected. But she's like, I'm staying here. I'm not giving up. This is my place. I'm here. And with the Two of Wands, she also has an objective. She's like, I better look at the future or the near future. I advanced a lot. I had gained a lot of things, a lot of accomplishments. I want more. So, there's future. There's future with the girls. It's just that there's this duality of like, maybe is it because, the relationship is new? Like, is there something about this girls' dynamic being new? I don't know how long they have been practicing or, seeing each other or, leaving each other. I don't know. But with the two, it's like, this is the beginning. It's not like we built a friendship, and it's like, oh yeah, we know each other for a lot of years. No, it's still in the making, but she's like, I'm not moving. So yeah, it's just that when it comes to perception, she wouldn't be able to tell you like, oh yeah, I feel so welcome. She does feel a bit like, I think she's also like, I think I'm sensing that they don't like me that much, or that there's some comments that maybe were referred to me, but she cannot have like the full proof, I would say. Maybe the girls should have more creative direction. I think that they will. With the Two of Wands, there's potential, but there's something about people already not trusting, maybe the company, or not trusting them, not the girls, but not trusting how they promote the girls. Yeah, they keep trying to ship Manon with people, and Lara Megan came out as a session. Why do they do that? Because like, it's okay if the girls, like, I think that it's okay if they want to talk about it, and of course that is valid because it's their experience. But maybe they should wait a bit longer to talk about those things. They are just starting, and things were looking great. Like, I was having fun with their music. Like, I love their songs, I love their style, I love it, I love them, I love watching them. I never skip like a video of theirs, but I don't know much about them. And now what I'm hearing also is this drama already, and it's taking away the potential of, you guys have something good, like, but if the audience get annoyed. I think that it started to rain again. Oh. Can you hear the sound of the rain in the ceiling? Can you hear it? Well, You're welcome. Does anyone have another question? Yeah, I love it. I love that, they will continue. It's just that it's a very awkward time. It's like, why do they play with that? With people are already sensitive. It's like, you guys don't learn anything. Like, stop doing that. It's the way they edit things or the decisions that they make when they create content. It's like, you guys could have done this better. If you had to include her, or you could have done it if you were creative enough, but they are not. They are not. They are just pushing content to your faces and not reviewing it. Now, it's so amateur. Oh, it's so amateur. But yeah, I think that eventually, if something goes wrong, the girls will have to step up with the creative process. They will have to get in the middle of the creative process, because whoever is managing them, they don't know how to manage them. But I think that with these girls, there's a potential of some of them, being very, very creative or being very knowledgeable. And also they have the character, they have the personality to be like, hello, we think that this is not, because they are very protective of their careers. Maybe they went through a lot to be here. So yes, they are not going to disappear. They're not going to back down. Do you have, guys, another question before I go? It's raining pretty hard. Can we have a general reading for Meow? I feel like the popularity has gone down since their debut. Okay. I call them Meow. Is that okay? Or because I know it's spelled differently, but it's Meow, right? Because I don't want to. Okay. Meow. Oh. This justice in reverse is like with a big sound at the end. Meow. Meow. Oh, well, them. Okay. Yeah, we have the justice in reverse for Meow. 6 of Cups. 10 of Pentacles in the middle. Are they having a comeback? The Strength card. Temperance. And then from the cards we have, I think that this is the Ace of Cups. And it says, before it's mutual, the love has to be our own. Before love is mutual, love is shared with others, it has to come from you first. It has to be built. You have to have self-esteem. You have to love yourself first. This is a very fancy way of saying, before you want to love someone, you have to love yourself first. Yeah, I think that in the past, definitely there's, with the Justice in reverse and the 6 of Cups, there's something about, maybe the start of these girls wasn't very well received. There's something about things not being fair, and actually people comparing them a lot to others. Maybe people being like, yeah, I know who they are, but they sound like the others. They are like the others. Their sound is generic. It reminds me of someone else. So I think that probably they didn't start, with the push or the support, because people have been unfair with them, because actually I think that their sound is good, and it's sort of it has elements of maybe songs that you heard from the past, but it's in a positive way. It's not like they're stealing someone's identity, but I think that there was something about maybe they weren't properly promoted, so people got a bit like, like, I don't like this reminds me of someone else, I don't want it, I don't like it, I'm judging it, I don't want it, like, get them out of my face. So people like maybe have been a bit upset that maybe some members or some people in there have a past in the industry, or that they are known in the industry, and people be like, oh yeah, I know about that person because I seen that this person is the daughter of this and this, and just people not liking them at the beginning. But in the middle, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So I think that if they're having a comeback, they are coming back, or they are establishing themselves with a lot of force. With the Ten of Pentacles, I think that, first of all, there's money. There's money invested. There's money invested on these cards. 100%. There's money. There's also them probably like being faithful to a sort of system. Yes, to a legacy. Maybe you're like, yeah, they remind me of this other group. They are the style of this, but they are sustaining it very proudly. The Ten of Pentacles is that they are very well established in this legacy. So, and also it feels like they are very protected, that they have everything that they need. The girls are not lacking, they have everything that they need. And probably if they have a comeback, it's going to be very flashy, very modern, very expensive, very prosperous, very shiny. So, and also with the Ten of Pentacles, I think that they are being received into a group or a community of maybe artists that debuted around the same era than them. But people are like, yeah, I kind of like them. And they're very successful, actually. They are very stable at the moment. So I think that the initial awkwardness, comparison, and people just wanting to dismiss them right away, I think that they are building a foundation of something that is unbreakable. And that probably they are like, they are building an stability that maybe for some groups in this era, it could take them years to build. But they already have it. They already have it. There's a lot of abundance for these people. So I think that whatever they're creating is going to be very successful. And also we have the Strength and the Temperance. So see, it's all very nice actually for this group. It's very nice. It's very, from this very unfair kind of energy of the past, you have this Temperance and also the Strength card that is like, don't freak out. Don't run for people's approvals. You are already stable on your own, or you're doing great on your own, or you're part of something very important. You guys matter, or you guys are building a very stable and faithful community or fandom. So you guys are doing great, and you will always have what you need. So I think that also with the Temperance and the Strength card, there's something about them having to maybe work on themselves and just be more chill, be more tranquil, be more at peace with yourself that whatever you guys are bringing or giving is enough. And even if there's haters, and even if there's people that could say, oh, you guys do the same like the others, and you are all the same, because there's something about them being part of a legacy and people being like, oh, but you don't bring anything new. Because this that you bring, we heard it before, and you've done it just like the others. And it's like, embrace it. Let them talk. Let them talk. Because are these girls rich? Or is the company rich? Because there's a lot of money here. So I think that they are very exclusive and they are very fancy. So maybe, people are a bit also judgmental towards that. Like, wow, you guys you just debuted and you have all these fancy things. Yeah, they will never show you like a low quality MB because there's legacy here. There's money. Yeah, there's money. And probably the girls are very, they earn a lot of money. They are used to having like a high value on their image or on themselves. So yeah, they will not be counting pennies. No, probably they have, I don't know if they are models or they have another, deals besides being a K-pop idol. So, it's all about, money. But yeah, with the temperance and the strength card, it's like, you guys, you're going to be okay. You just have to regulate maybe a bit of anxiety of like, what is people going to think of us? Because, actually it's more about them somehow adjusting or adapting that not everyone is going to like you. And that's okay. That's okay. That you don't have to respond. Don't respond to the haters. Don't react. You just be patient. Be patient. Don't say anything. If they say something nasty or ugly or condescending, hush. Be patient. Be patient. Let the work, let the music, or let the content or whatever they're creating to speak for yourselves. They have to remain balanced and professional. They cannot be seen nervous or doubting themselves. They have to sustain this legacy. That maybe this legacy is about them acting cool, and maybe being, very proper, very professional, maybe having a high self-esteem and being like, yeah, thank you, but they will do great. They will do great. It's just that they never have to lose this order inside themselves. They never have to go desperate, even if, they get annoyed by people's being mean to them, but they are, I don't know why I want to say that they are a different class. They are not like the usual idols or the rookies. They maybe have another background and it's much more flashy or it's much more like prosperous. Maybe they are used to dealing with huge brands, with celebrities. So yeah. But yeah, when it comes to the Ace of Cups, see them learning to love themselves and accept this moment that they are in, instead of looking for, or maybe being like, do people like what we do? Do they like it? Like, I think that there's a part of them that they're like, I really want our fans to like this. And I would want to see what they say of us. And maybe when in the search of them looking for their love and support, in the way they found nasty comments, or they find the ugly side of the internet, or maybe people saying awful things about them. But they have this curiosity of like, do they like them? Do we like, are we liked? Do they know what we do? Because I cannot wait to love them back. There's something with the Ace of Cups of them wanting to maybe nurture or get like in a closer relationship with the fans. They are very open to this and they are very sensitive about this. But because they have to play cool, they're like, I hope that they know that even though we can look mature and, all like classy and thing, we are really looking forward to build a connection with them, because they're very loving. They're very loving girls, very loving, very loving. It's just that maybe people judge them because they have a sort of attitude, or maybe if they have they have a concept, they have an image to sustain. they have an image to sustain. So sometimes they're like, I wish we could get closer to the fans and, to hear what they have to say. If they like it, because we're doing this for them, we hope that the fans get, like the fandom gets stronger, that more people can join. They're just so cute, so loving. Yes. Now that it's raining, it's pouring, I cannot move from here. Don't you hear the rain? Can you not hear the rain? I don't see it for 2025. I don't see it for any of them, but I can pull cards. I don't think that is for this year, no. But I can see how he's doing. You cannot hear? Okay. Wait. Will Jungkook have a solo comeback? Let's see about JK. How are you, Katie? You catch a live stream in a day that is not so typical, because Fridays are the new day. I will see if I can keep coming the Fridays also. Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Let's see about Jungkook, if he will have a solo comeback. This is actually I'm getting a bit annoyed because I saw it coming. I saw it. I said it to someone that I know, my friend that is an army friend, and I was like, they're holding JK's potential back. And this is not just the fans or the sasangs or people invading his territory. I think that he's like choosing certain things and he has so much potential, but it's being stopped. So it's because of external influences, but he could do so much more. It's just that there's a lot of limitations for JK in the next months. We start 3 of Pentacles for JK. The Hangman. We have the Star card, so it's him being a star nevertheless, and we have the Devil in reverse. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. That is like the entrepreneur. When I said entrepreneurship, that I had a lot of hard time saying entrepreneurship. That is like entrepreneurship is not a science nor art, it's practice. So maybe what you can get, or maybe what JK has been working on, since I don't see a solo because he's not allowed to do this. But I can sort of see him becoming an entrepreneur. Can you hear me, guys? Hey, Hope. At what part did you stop hearing me? Because thank God, because of the light, I cannot see, but I stopped seeing the green light, the light in here, and I was like, so I better hurry before it runs out, because it says that each mic lasts like 6 hours each. Is a lie, because we and it has been charged. Look, I'm charging this, the one that I got. Look at the battery that it says it's charging, like, but it doesn't individually, it doesn't reach the 2 hours. See that we have been here 2 hours and 16 minutes and it had run out already. So it's a lie. Like, it lasts as much as the other one that I have, this very cheap one that I used to have. This one also runs until like two and a half hours. So it's a lie. It's a lie that this lasts longer. So I'm going to complain. Sorry. He will. You heard it. Thank you, Yashoda. Yes, because, with the Page of Pentacles, I think that he's a very resourceful person. Definitely, he's someone that he's very curious about trends or talking about what is trending. And he can probably, make some, him being on his own, just doing something very, innocently, in the sense of, like, for example, what I do here. I turn on the camera and we started the conversation or the live stream just talking nonsense, just talking about our personal experiences. And then, I pulled the cards and we started like giving shape to this live stream, giving it like somehow a purpose. And I think that for JK, it can be something, him, going live and him just, doing something just very, very practical and just, normal. And then all of a sudden it has these very iconic moments and you want to join and you want to, you want him to do more, maybe reacting to certain things, and him, turning this into an entertainment, and people being like, oh yeah, we want to join, we want to see what he has been doing because he's so funny, he's so entertaining. He is a star, definitely. He is an entertainer. He has the personality. It's just that he's very humble. He's someone that he's like, like the Virgo man that he is. He's like, I'm going to try this. I'm observing maybe what other content creators are doing. And I'm kind of like, he wants to do the same. He's like, I don't know what's popular these days, but I kind of want to do it myself. He doesn't need to because he's amazing. He's so popular, but he's like, I kind of want to, like do the live streams and start just like, regular people do. Thank you, Draculaura. Thank you for the feedback. Do you think that they are waiting for Vansiu to get clear before? Probably, because there's a lot of like stop. First, there's a stop with the group. The group is like, hold. They probably they had already certain things for the group, or they were going to work on some things of the group, and they were like, no, let's stop, no. And then, with the star and the devil in reverse, I think that they will use JK's image to keep, you will see a lot of content of JK. But what worries me, thank God the devil card, didn't come like upwards. So it means like he can eventually, by the end of the year, get rid of these chains. That I think that there's something about, this and this for me, I don't like. Because it means like, yeah, he has, he is very famous. He is, very wanted. People want to see him, but there's an attachment. There's an attachment to maybe a person, a situation, something that is holding his potential back. And I think that, that is not good for how such a star that he is. I think that he's a man that, he has to have his individual moments. He has that, okay, not creating a comeback, not releasing new music for now, but do something different and do it on your own, because there's something about him being attached to a system, or he having a contract or something that he has to do, that is somehow like is dimming his light. JK on his own has a lot of potential, and somehow he's been attached to something that I don't know what it is, but it's like it's a contract or what, that is like it's not a good use for him. This is why I think that him having the lives, or him, maybe deciding to create a kind of content around himself, just being himself, and not being, arranged by others, or not being, it's like him with the camera. It's like, okay, I'm going to turn on the live stream and I'm just going to be here. And eventually, he's going to start to communicate more, to engage more with the fans, to also learn, okay, ask the fans, like, guys, what do you want me to do? I'm here, so let's watch something. And this can become actually a good exercise for him to show up, because people want to see him. People want to see JK. So this is why I'm like, even though maybe, collaborations, or, even the group's activity are, being advised to be on hold for the next months. He's someone that has a lot of, curiosity. Maybe he wants to learn something new, and he wants to connect also. But I think that also in his need to also connect, he's someone that this is why I'm like, I understand that, at least from me, from my perspective and how I see it energetically, he has such a potential to do things on his own and just being so successful, but somehow he's always attached to others. And this could be the fans as well, the fans also, not all the fans, but maybe the crazy ones, just not leave him alone. So there's something about like, okay, JK, stand up, get rid of the attachments, be more independent. Like I think that this is why I'm like, I cannot be like, they are bothering him, because I think that this attachment goes both ways. There's moments where he says yes to collaborations, or he says yes to things that, because he somehow, he wants to be with the group, or he wants to be with other people. But for me, there's something about JK individually, that he has so much potential, and he's going to be so successful, that he has to keep investing, even tiny moments, but he has to keep doing solo work. And this is not to feed the solo stars, but I think that he has so much potential. He's such an entertainer, and he has such a good personality, I think. So I'm like, and he's also so curious. He's like the eternal apprentice. So I think that this is what differentiates him maybe from the rest, that he's like, what are the people of my age doing these days? What are people saying on the internet? And he's so curious, and with this, he can build something like his own show, for example, like his own talk show. I don't know, but I think that he has the potential, and he doesn't need nor the company nor the group. He can do it just from the couch in his house, with not so many, fancy, equipment and things. Mm. There's this. Definitely, B wants to be solo. Like he's thinking about himself. He's not thinking about, like, when it comes to him and his maybe, like I said when I read different times for him and others, he's like gathering information. He's gathering. He's like he's gathering. He has been gathering information for a very long time. He's like because for him, information, and knowing how things work is very important. For him, it's very. He has been doing this very actively. Like, at least in the cards, I do see it. He's like, I don't know about the others, but I only know that I'm looking for, options. Will these guys stay around with Hive or go the Blackpink way? No, I think that they will stay with Hive. They will stay. The Knight of Swords, Two of Wands, and the Strength card. Wait, I'm going to write down this. Because then I don't know. But I think that honestly, it's very odd. Honestly, because you have, with the Knight of Swords, you do have people, especially the not so emotional ones, the ones that are more reactive. I think that there could be two of them, that they will definitely, fight for the rights. There's something about them just not, if they have some different views, or if they have, some disagreements with the company or with what they're doing, they're definitely stating their opinion. They are fighting back. I think that, there's certain members that they are like, this that you did wasn't cool, or this that you guys have been doing is not cool. We don't like it. We are angry at this. This is so useless. Sorry. This is so useless. I think that there's members that are very upset and could be threatening, like could be like, okay, like, like sort of like, I think that with the Knight of Swords, there's a lot of threatening, like, I'm going to leave. And there's a lot of speculation, people talking, it's going to be like a long battle of they said, he said, the other one said. And I think that there's a lot of anger and frustration out of all of this. And definitely they are being careful about this because, with the Two of Wands, I think that there could be two members that are more reactive and they're like, I had to think about my future. Like, I want out, or I don't want this. But then, once they sit down and once they really talk, among themselves, why they really review the options and everything, we have the Strength card. So it's about, resisting. It's like, I think that there's, at the moment, or maybe in the near months, there's going to be a lot of back and forth of differences, arguments, like, I don't like this. I'm not, I'm not happy. I'm angry. I don't have self-control. I could say something abruptly. But I think that at the end, the Strength card is like, contain yourself. Wait, slow down, have some regulation, calm down, be patient, think about your future, don't be so reactive, slow down, tame the lion, tame the desire of wanting to end things and just, I think that there could be a lot of threats, a lot of like, are they renewal period at the moment? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that it's, hey Akira, I think that it's is, I think that they renewed the contract not so long ago, so they still have a long way to go with them. Again, the Ace of Cups, the cards of self-love. Again, love yourself, like the message that they have. Love yourself. I think that is not easy, and probably there's going to be a lot of, media getting involved and a lot of people, like saying, oh, this member did this and the other did this. And especially the ones that are more, I think that there are two that when I read for them, I always get swords, so I know who they are. But it's like they are like, they are very sharp. They are like, not sugarcoating, like, well, they will know what to do. They're like, fix this now. They are not happy. They are speaking up. I think that they have a lot of years still with. I mean, they are part of Big Hit. They are not Hype. They have stocks in Hype, but they are not part of Hype. They have Big Hit. They are part of Big Hit. They have stocks at Hype. Katie, do you have a question about EXO before I go? I can pull cards. Very well. I'm about to go. And you? How are you, Akira? Is there a company that can offer them better in terms than Hype? It's just that they are under we have the moon, 10 of wands, and we have the sun. So I mean, I don't think that they can offer them better. Honestly, it looks very challenging. And it's not about money. I think that what maybe one company can offer to maybe a specific member that wants, I don't know. I think that it's about well-being. There's something about a member being like, I want to be able to get out of this, the dark times, the uncertainty, not having the answers, not being able to be myself, not feeling appreciated. And maybe this person wants like creative freedom, and they just want to have fun more, and they want to be around people like having a CEO that they can get along better and just have fun and be more authentic together. It's not so much about like money, because I don't think that they can get paid. It's more like, I want to go to a place where the sun rises, like where there's more like happy vibes, honestly. But it's challenging. They will probably have to pay a lot to get out. They're not going to make it easy for them to get out. Whoever wants out, probably they will have to pay a lot, and they are going to make it difficult. So, but they could be, I don't care. I want my happy moment. Like, I want to reach my happiness. But I think that the sense of happiness, honestly, it comes with uncertainty. So yes, you can go to somewhere that can be like happy or more bright, or maybe creatively being more fun, but there's also maybe some doubts about this said company being very trustworthy, or maybe they wouldn't have enough budget to support these artists or the members. So I don't see it. Thank you. Could EXO come back together? This year, you say, or you mean like in general? Okay, let's see if EXO could come back together. All of them. Please come back. Yes. Yes. Just that they have a lot of, they have to, there's a lot of disappointment. We have the Three of Swords. So, there could be some relationships that are affected, that are still in the process of, talking things out. But I see it. The Star, Two of Cups, the Temperance, and Three of Pentacles. And we have Three of Swords that it says that fear of change don't make you romanticize what hurts you. Definitely they have to, I don't think that it's all the members, but there's some members that they had their discussions, or they had, they have a very awkward relationship. Maybe something happened that they are, separated. But at the same time, it's like, stop romanticizing what hurt in the past or what offended you in the past. Leave it where it is. You guys have the opportunity to do something together that is new, that can be soon. I think that they are in talks, definitely, and there's teamwork. There's like materialization of efforts, like joint efforts, and I think that they are reconciling. I see it. Yeah, they do need, I don't think that it's like right away, but they are already fixing certain differences of theirs. Because with the Temperance, it's like finally letting go of what hurt you or what offended you, of that person, that comment, like, come on, let's talk, let's reconcile, let's talk things out. Let's talk. Because they are, the Star is like, you guys are meant to be together. You are part of something special. So fix it. Whatever hurt, fix it. Don't dwell on the pain of like, oh, this hurt me, this offended me, oh, you offended me, oh, you said this, you didn't do this. It's like, you guys, you have to come back together. You have to reconcile. You have to let go of that. Stop romanticizing like, oh, no, because they said this and I will never, like, stop it. If they want to work together. Definitely. Akira, did you watch Andy's content of, the Coldplay concert couple? It was so fun. You're welcome. Do you have a question, Yashoda? That you said, when is the next reading? Or you mean, when is the next live stream? The next live stream is on Sunday. I'm going to read for... But yeah, if you have another question, I can do it before I go. Thank you guys for your recommendations. Thank you for, for Leo artists. Leo artists, and if there's a subject, something comes up, that you guys want me to talk about, I can pull cards for that as well. But yeah, we're starting. Hey, Saintful. Oh, thank you, Katie. It's so cute. It's so cute. I love the graphic. Please let me know if EXO has this comeback. I'm going to keep my eye on it. I want to see them. I want to see them. But the cards were so positive. Honestly, I was like, there could be, because it's a large group. But honestly, like all the cards were all about, reconciling and just like putting effort together, like more literal than the cards are. I cannot, it's amazing. It's amazing. Also, I put EXO's old songs on repeat because I kind of want like new music, but SM. So. Okay. Yes, I heard about that sinful about Hwasa. Poor woman. My God. That must hurt so much because it's in here. Oh my God. And thinking about her the other day, I was looking if I had, a reading for her in Cancer season, and I think that no one requested her. So I was like, oh no, I don't have any reading for Hwasa. So I wanted to check to see if I saw something about this accident, but it's been a while since I read for her. So, okay, a checkup to see how Hwasa is doing. Most people think she's a Leo. She's okay. She's going to be okay, but she will probably need a timeout to recover. Yeah. Yeah, she will need, because maybe the process is slow, and she needs, a lot of like analysis. Like I don't want to say analysis, but it's like, a very detailed, study of the song, or maybe, another aspects of her as well besides, the ear. It's about also maybe her, taking it slow to take care of herself, or maybe mentally. But she's definitely receiving the love. I don't know if people are like, supporting her, and they're like sending her a lot of love and appreciation. She's definitely receiving this. She's very open to the love and support. So it's very nice actually. She's but yeah, starting with her reading, the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups in the middle. So could it be that she's like having a comeback, or she was having a comeback, or she announced that she's going to have a comeback? Because the Ace of Cups is giving me like something's about to be released that is hers. Like actually she was working on this before this happened, or she had it already and she was like, okay, I'm going to release it very soon. Did she tell the fans that she had something to release, like new music or a new project in general? Because I see it very abundantly here. Like, even though maybe she has, then we have the Hermit and the Seven of Pentacles, that, maybe she does have to not be that present. But I think that the production or the creation is already here. Is already here. And then the Nine of Cups. That this the phrasing here is a reminder that that everything that you once wanted, you already have it. The Nine of Cups is like, when you are very full and satisfied, like you are like, yeah, I actually I'm getting a lot of support, I'm getting a lot of opportunities, but somehow there's a part of you that you're like, I should get more, right? And the cards are like, no, enjoy what you have, because you have plenty, because you have more than what you had before. So, instead of thinking like, I should get more or I should do more, because I think that is very important in here to talk. I don't know how this incident happened, but definitely with the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, there's something about her. I don't know if she was like fixated on finishing something like a tour or like the concert or the presentation, or I think that she was like fixed with time. Like when you're like, no, I have to end this. Like I cannot stop. I cannot stop. I have to finish this. And like somehow her being like, very stubborn about it, even though with the Page of Pentacles, there was something about like, yeah, I kind of got a bit of signals that something was not going well. I kind of knew that something was not going well, but because I was very stubborn and insistent on keep going, this is why it happened. Something like this. That is very practical. These are practical methods, but I think that for her it was very important to finish something. And now with the Ace of Cups, it's very important to continuing, maybe giving more to the fans and being like also open to receive support. But I think that she's about to release something. There's something about her being like, I already have it. It's for you guys, and I have to release it now. Now is the moment. If it's like a song, or if it's like content, or if it's her appearance. I mean, I think that with Hwasa is going to take like, she's going to change maybe the format, but she will continue working. There's something about her not wanting to stop. But then eventually she will have to stop. She will have to take a bit of time out, because she has to focus on this. Maybe she has to prioritize her health, or she has to, study certain things better. Because I think that she has been feeling lately very inspired. There's something about her being like, no, I have to get this out. I have to get this to the fans. I have to deliver this to the fans. I have to show up for the fans because the fans are waiting for me. It could be that this is because it's summer. So somehow, people are like, no, because, in summer, Hwasa always, we always have these events and Hwasa is there. It's like it's Hwasa season. Could it be? Because I think that she's like pushing it for more, being like, I have to be here because, I always participate. People are waiting for me. People know that I will show up. So I don't want to disappoint them. But I see her just a lot of water also. A lot of water. Her being underwater. But yeah, I think that then she will have to, stop a bit and reflect. I think that with the Seven of Pentacles, there's something about, this sort of review. It has to do with her, you have to review certain processes. I think that there's something that maybe she knew, or she had the information that some things were not very correct, or they were not finished, or they were not properly said. So I think that even though she wants to be generous with the fans, she has to review certain practical things, because you cannot push certain processes. You have to be more careful. And also because it's all pentacles, so it's all about be patient. There's things that need time. Don't push it. Don't be stubborn. Um, yeah, it's just that she's very stubborn. She wants to end. She wants to keep doing things, and unless there's like a doctor or a physician, someone that is like, you need to rest or you need to find a different way to do this, but not how you've been doing this. But yeah, now it started raining again. It stopped and now it started raining again. But she's okay. She's okay. She's okay. Actually, she's not worried for herself. She's more worried about her future projects, or maybe like, if she has concerts, she's more worried about productivity more than, let's say, the card that was left out, the Four of Cups. This is something about Hwasa not listening to other people's maybe advices. I think that she's very disconnected emotionally. She's sort of going on automatic. I don't know what is going on with her, but there's something about her just being, stubborn or just not paying attention, because she's like trying to maybe evade something, or she's not, maybe emotionally she's not that connected, or something happened. So this is why she's obsessed with productivity. Like, I have to make it. It's like, instead of her facing, whatever she's going through, she's like turning into workaholic. But she's okay. She's okay. She's going to be okay. And also emotionally, when I mean, she's receiving a lot of love, and this also makes her feel better. Also, she's very loved. Okay, guys, now I'm going to go because my phone is running out of battery. But thank you so much for the questions. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate it. And yes, I will see you on Sunday. Okay. Have a lovely day. Bye, guys.